Speaking of vital, important information, there's nothing more vital than this game for the Redskins against the Lions over at FedEx Field on Sunday. The Redskins just can't go 0-3. I mean, I know it seems crazy, Trevor Matich, but is this already a must-win for the Redskins?
Well, it's still not a must-win, Larry, just because the rest of the division is not in as bad a shape as the Redskins overall, but they're in really bad shape. Philly is not going to be there at the end. The Giants are struggling, and Dallas is always a drama. So, it's not like if they lose this game, their season is over. Last year they started 3-6, and then they rallied and came back and won the division. But the way they've been playing, if they went 0-16, I wouldn't be surprised.
Wow.
Because right now they're not showing any kind of a spark whatsoever. Keep this in mind. Over the first two games, their offense was outscored in the first half 50-0. 50-0 in the first half of games. Now, the defense picked up a touchdown, but that was it.
To me, it sounds that's to me a lack of preparation. I mean, this is a great coaching staff, but how do you get that walloped like that at the beginning of each of your first two games?
Well, it's inexplicable on defense because every team is struggling right now with tackling because of the new collective bargaining agreement that limits their full pads practice in training camp.
Yeah, but both teams are dealing with that.
Right, and the Redskins have gone downhill faster than everybody else, and so the Redskins secondary especially is astonishingly, historically inept right now. But
wow,
what really worries me over on the other side.
Stop for a minute. You think as bad as it's ever been?
Historically inept.
Yeah, it certainly can be. Keep this in mind too. Over the first two games, only one team in the history of the NFL has given up more yards than these Redskins have.
Wow.
Wow. That is
1967.
Wow.
And so, but the offensive side of the ball worries me even more because the offensive side of the ball has solutions, but I worry what may be going on behind the scenes there. RG3 is coming back off his injury. He's rusty. I get all that stuff. But they are not doing things with him right now that are obvious that they could do and not put him at risk, and yet they're not doing it. And more it appears like one of the reasons they're not doing it is that he's just refusing to do it. And so and that may not be the case.
What?
Until I see some obvious things happen, I've got to wonder why they're not occurring.
Excuse me, you think that he's resisting certain coaching?
Well, let me tell you this. We have seen him in training camp sprint down a rope line, high-fiving fans, right?
Right.
We know he can sprint. He's shown us in the preseason games when he has done his workouts while his teammates are getting ready to play. He worked out. He sprints. He runs. He jumps. He can run in air. They're still worried about dynamic movement and explosion and all kinds of stuff like that, right? Well, so they don't want him to be in position where defenses can put extra strain on that knee. He's not quite ready for that yet. But I want you to watch in this game where he throws the ball from. There's a launch point. And a guy like Peyton Manning, the launch point is almost always directly behind the center. Now, they'll move him around some, but directly behind the center.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's what he did the first two games. They rarely moved him from there. And Green Bay, last week, had every kind of blitz known to man, with the target of the blitz, a launch point directly behind the center. And all they had to do with RG3 is move him a little bit, like a half roll one way or the other, a full roll. I'm not talking about a zone read or a play that would put him in position to get hit. I just mean move the launch point. And they only had a couple of called plays against Green Bay where he moved the launch point. And you can't tell me that they didn't do it because he actually can't run. Yes, he can. He can run 4 steps to the right before he sets up to throw the ball, but they're not doing it, and I want to know why, and I don't have an explanation yet.
Well, I mean, when he faces the Lions, he's going to have that big Ndamukong Suh coming after him. I mean, he's going to be chasing him around, isn't he?
Ndamukong Suh, defensive tackle for the Lions, is legitimately dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. It is in his DNA that when he gets a hold of you, he will try to tackle you in a way that will injure you. He just can't help it. And he's the third most fined player in the league coming into this game. And he gets just personal fouls all the time. But it's not just him. The other defensive tackle, Nick Fairley, is not dirty, but he's a beast. Ziggy Ansah, who's the pass rusher lining up over right tackle Tyler Columbus, has him so clearly outclassed physically that, who knows what they'll be able to do against this bunch. I mean, RG3 in this game, he'd better run, or else he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
All right, so let's get back to this secondary thing. What's the solution there?
I don't know that there is one. It's almost like RG3. He needs to play his way through his situation. I mean, people are calling for him to be benched, but he needs to play through it. The secondary is the same way. They've got a couple of young guys back there that look like they play with their eyes closed from time to time, but that's who they have. So all you can do is play through it.
But Trevor Matich, I mean, they're going to see possibly one of the most dangerous wide receiver in the NFL, Calvin Johnson, this weekend. I mean, you're making me very nervous about this game.
You know, for people that don't follow football but have heard the nickname Megatron, there's a reason he's got that nickname. Yeah, and he's licking his chops. As a matter of fact, he was kind of boasting about it
was he?
Reporters.
Little
He
trash
wasn't
talk.
exactly boasting, but you don't say things like, oh, well, I see the way they play their safeties, and I see the same problems that the other two teams have seen, and we're going to go after those same problems. You don't say that publicly when you're facing a fair fight. You say that when you know you're a man facing people that can't match up with you.
Well, you know, though, I'm taken aback because I had such great hope for this season, and now I'm feeling very, very bleak about our chances.
Well, you know what? I am too. I'm very surprised that the defense isn't playing a lot better than it is, but I'm also astonished that the offense is stuck where it is. So I'm very interested to see what they do. There's some adjustments they can make. RG3 will shake off some of the rest. I get that part of it, and it's gloomy right now, but in the other division cities, Philadelphia, New York, and Dallas, it is also gloomy. So, you know,
so the silver lining is right now the whole division is crap.
We're not playing well, but neither is the rest of the division.
All right, Trevor, give us a prediction, man. Leave us on a good note here.
The prediction is that the Redskins will get out of this game without too many injuries in a loss.
In a loss.
So you think,
oh,
all
my
right.
gosh.
All right, Trevor Matich, we will talk to you Monday.
Well, you're just a little ray of sunshine, Mr. Matich.
Oh, boy, I'm one of the lollipop kids.
Enjoy the game, Trevor. We'll talk to you.